Yeah,
I appreciate y'all. Thank you. And I just want to say how much I appreciate Puff Daddy for doing the kinds of work that he's doing, because he doesn't have to do this.
Tonight, disgraced mogul Sean Diddy Combs still behind bars, held without bail, pleading not guilty to explosive charges, sex trafficking, racketeering, and transportation to engage in prostitution.
But take the word of a former inmate I spoke with who goes by Esco.
It's terrible. The food is terrible. Of course, the inmates are terrible. The guards are terrible. The conditions are terrible. It's just terrible.
Jennifer Lopez, Jay-Z, Beyonce, Cuba Gooding, and even Kim Kardashian. These are all names people are used to hearing when it comes to who may be involved in the Diddy scandal. But Barack Obama? Not many saw this one coming, that's for sure. In a dramatic turn of events, Sean Diddy Combs, the once celebrated music mogul, finds himself behind bars, facing explosive charges of sex trafficking, racketeering, and transportation to engage in prostitution. Held without bail, Diddy has pleaded not guilty to these serious allegations. The indictment, handed down in the Southern District of New York, has left fans and industry insiders in shock as they witness the fall of a man who once stood at the pinnacle of pop culture. Diddy was arrested by federal agents on a Monday night at the luxurious Par H Hotel in New York City. The charges revolve around alleged freak-offs, which authorities claim were sex performances planned and recorded by Combs. The indictment accuses Combs of abusing and exploiting women and others for years in various ways.
A year ago, Sean Combs stood in Times Square and was handed a key to New York City. Today, he's been indicted and will face justice in the Southern District of New York.
The once celebrated rapper was arrested by federal agents Monday night at the Park Hyatt Hotel in New York City. At the center of those charges, alleged freak-offs or sex performances that authorities claim were planned and recorded.
A word that has come up in this story, freak-off, what is that?
It is him having like sex workers or whoever come in and have sex with his partner, whoever it is, while he watches or participates or whatever. Yeah.
The indictment alleges that Combs abused and exploited women and other people for years, and in a variety of ways.
Sean Combs entered court, and when he first walked through the doors in the company of the U.S. Marshals, he didn't have any handcuffs on.
His attorney has vehemently denied all allegations, stating that Combs will fight the charges in court. Federal authorities have been investigating the rapper for nearly a year, raiding his homes in Miami and Los Angeles last March. The raids revealed a staggering amount of evidence, including narcotics, over 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant, AK-47s, and multiple videos allegedly linked to sex trafficking.
The Combs Enterprise. Members and associates of the Combs Enterprise engaged in and attempted to engage in, among other activities, sex trafficking, forced labor, interstate transportation for purposes of prostitution, coercion, and enticement to engage in prostitution, narcotics offenses, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice. Combs manipulated women to participate in highly orchestrated performances of sexual activity with male commercial sex workers. Then he used force, threats of force, and coercion to cause victims to engage in extended sex acts that Combs referred to as, among other things, as freak-offs. On or about March 2024, during searches of Combs' residence in Miami, Florida, and LA, law enforcement seized various freak-off supplies, including narcotics and more than 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant. 1,000 bottles? What the
The charges mark a stunning fall from Grace Diddy, who was once an influential figure in American music. As an architect of modern hip-hop and R&B, Diddy helped bring these genres to the mainstream. Diddy also launched the careers of numerous artists, including the late Notorious B.I.G., and was known for his high-profile relationships, including one with Jennifer Lopez.
Puffy, Puff Daddy, Diddy, Brother Love, the Booty Warrior, whatever you want to call him, is one of the biggest names in music. The rapper and mogul was adored by the black community in the 90s and early 2000s. You would see him in the company of fellow rappers, models, and other members of elite Hollywood. Diddy had the facade of black man that made it big, an inspirational figure for others. He was seen as a beacon of hope. Let's be real, Diddy's a musical genius, a great talk rapper, but I was never impressed, as he was a walking contradiction. Example, he loved speaking on black excellence, meanwhile his artists were struggling and dropping like flies without a dime to their names, exploiting aspiring black talent for a check on TV. Diddy always talked that good shit, meanwhile an aura of chaotic energy revolved around him. I've made a couple of videos about Dirty Diddy, and I don't want to repeat myself too much in this one, so for this video, let's focus on his 69 God behaviors, overall downfall leading up to more recent events that includes former collaborator / employee Don Richard, who filed a lawsuit against Diddy recently, his indictment, and I also want to give my take on this whole situation. Will he actually be convicted?
Diddy's multi-million-dollar empire extended beyond music. He ventured into fashion, alcohol, television shows, and even political campaigns, famously promoting the Vote or Die initiative. His influence in pop culture was undeniable, making his current legal predicament even more shocking. Federal prosecutors describe this as a criminal enterprise, with a network of individuals working to facilitate and conceal the freak-offs. They arranged travel for the sex workers, stocked hotel rooms with supplies, and delivered large sums of cash to Combs. This complex operation was aimed at satisfying Combs's desires while keeping the activities hidden from the public and law enforcement.
Freak-offs sometimes lasted days at a time, involved multiple commercial sex workers, and often involved a variety of narcotics, such as ketamine, ecstasy, and GHB, which Combs distributed to the victims to keep them obedient and compliant.
According to the indictment, Combs manipulated women into participating in these sessions with male sex workers, and also ensured participation by controlling their careers, leveraging his financial support, and threatening to cut off the same, using intimidation and violence.
To the defense, this was not any kind of sexual depravity or debauchery as alleged, but consenting adults showing intimacy.
The federal government is saying that this is a criminal enterprise, that this isn't just a crime perpetuated by one individual, but that a whole organization needed to work around this, not only in creating these freak-offs and these parties and these filming, but also to hide it from the public and law enforcement.
The indictment alleges that those individuals facilitated the freak-offs. They booked the hotel rooms and stocked them with the supplies, including drugs, baby oil, personal lubricant, extra linens, and lighting. When the hotel rooms got damaged, they helped clean it up. They arranged for victims and commercial sex workers to travel for the freak-offs, and they delivered large quantities of cash to Combs to pay for the commercial sex workers.
The investigation gained momentum following a lawsuit filed last November by Combs' former girlfriend, Cassandra Ventura, better known as Cassie. She claimed to be a victim of abuse, violence, and sex trafficking by Combs. Though Combs denied all wrongdoing and settled the lawsuit, the settlement was not an admission of guilt.
Do you remember when Sean Diddy Combs' ex-girlfriend Cassie filed a lawsuit accusing him of all sorts of abuse, and the lawsuit settled the very next day? Here are 3 reasons why a party might settle out of court. In litigation, both sides have an opportunity to discover evidence. In Diddy's case, this would include emails, text messages, financial records. Everything's fair game, and this for Diddy could be incredibly embarrassing or incriminating. Litigation can drag on for years, and the longer a case continues, the more expensive it becomes, both in terms of legal fees and the emotional toll it takes on those involved. Settling out of court allows the defendant to cut costs and move on. Trials are also incredibly unpredictable, and even if a party strongly believes in their case, courtroom testimony and the spectacle of it all could damage a party's reputation. An out-of-court settlement allows the defendant to control the narrative. Out-of-court settlement is often a strategic move to protect privacy, save time, and avoid unpredictable outcomes.
Since then, at least 10 other lawsuits have emerged, accusing Combs of similar misconduct.
Yet another woman has filed a lawsuit against Sean Combs, claiming that he sexually assaulted her, this one back in 2003. Her name is Crystal McKinney. She was a model in the late 90s and early aughts. She appeared on some MTV shows, including Total Request Live. McKinney's suit says in 2003, a designer invited her to meet Combs during Men's Fashion Week. The suit says the designer began to direct plaintiff's appearance as he sought to ensure that Combs found her attractive. For instance, the designer instructed plaintiff to go to Elizabeth Arden to get a root touch-up to ensure it was platinum blonde. The suit says that the designer even had a stylist put hair extensions in McKinney's hair and then handpicked her clothes, a black leather coat with a fur hood, a translucent chiffon beige V-cut shirt, and jeans encrusted with jewels. The suit says at a dinner that Combs told McKinney she was gorgeous and that she would make it big one day. She claims he made promises that he would help her advance her career. The suit says that Combs even gave McKinney his phone number as a show of good faith. She claims he was flirty and almost leering at her.
One of the most high-profile cases involves Dawn Richard, a former member of Danity Kane. Combs has denied these allegations, with his attorney expressing confidence in proving his innocence in court.
Today, Richard is back in the spotlight. In a damning new lawsuit, she's accusing her former mentor of sexual battery, forced labor, and gender-motivated violence.
These are all allegations that have become shockingly familiar against Diddy in recent months as he has faced lawsuit after lawsuit from women and men who have accused him of all manner of bad behavior.
Richard also claims she witnessed him abusing his former girlfriend, Cassandra Ventura, better known as Cassie, on numerous occasions. Attorney Lisa Bloom is representing Richard.
Dawn had the choice to file the case as a Jane Doe, and she chose not to do that. After giving it a fair amount of thought, she wants accountability, she wants justice.
An attorney for Combs tells Nightline, quote, "In an attempt to rewrite history, Dawn Richard has now manufactured a series of false claims, all in the hopes of trying to get a payday." Adding, quote, "It's unfortunate that Miss Richard has cast their 20-year friendship aside to try and get money from him."
Many celebrities who were once associated with Diddy are now remaining silent, likely distancing themselves from the controversy. The internet is abuzz with speculation about the attendees of Diddy's infamous parties. An old photo from his 4th of July celebration in 2000, featuring Diddy in bed with Jennifer Lopez, Aaliyah, and others, has resurfaced, fueling the conversation.
Said everybody, come on over to the house.
While it's not a crime to attend a Diddy event, several of the civil lawsuits allege sex crimes occurred during those wild parties.
I've got a lot I can't tell. Can't tell that one either.
The question now could past attendees like Ashton Kutcher, Demi Moore, Kelly Osbourne, Justin Bieber, and Usher be potentially questioned by federal investigators.
I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
There were very curious things taking place.
Anyone who attended one of Diddy's parties dating back decades should be concerned. So Diddy's rich and powerful friends should make sure they have lawyers on standby as the feds may come knocking.
Over the weekend, all of Usher's posts on Twitter mysteriously disappeared, leading some to speculate it was related to Diddy. But the singer says his account was hacked. Saturday, we were with Tiffany Haddish, who played a bouncer in Diddy's 2022 Gotta Move On music video. And of course, he made a cameo in Girls Trip.
Adding to the drama, a clip of Barack Obama and Diddy at one of his famous parties has gone viral. The video shows the former president and the hip-hop mogul sharing laughs and exchanging thanks. Obama, looking relaxed, thanks Diddy for his contributions to the music industry and his efforts in mobilizing voters. The clip has reignited discussions about the influence of pop culture figures like Diddy on political landscapes. video, Obama and Diddy's camaraderie is evident, showcasing a rare glimpse of the former president in a casual, fun environment. The clip serves as a reminder of the close ties between hip-hop and politics, and the impact that influential figures can have on each other's realms.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all. Thank you. And I just want to say how much I appreciate Puff Daddy for doing the kinds of work that he's doing, because he doesn't have to do this. But this is part of what is important about giving back.
Yes, we applaud you, and I want to apologize for not sweating, but I do this so much. I'm so cool. I just want y'all to see everybody I'm interviewing is sweating. I'm not even touching my brow. I'm so cool, and I want to apologize. I ain't trying to make you look bad or nothing like that, but I'm just so cool. We
a t-shirt. I tell you, if he was wearing one of those fancy designer clothes he's designing, he'd be sweating just like me.
As Sean Diddy Combs remains behind bars awaiting an appeal, he faces the possibility of life in prison if convicted on all charges. Federal prosecutors have made it clear that this indictment is only the beginning, suggesting that more charges could follow. The public and the industry are watching closely as one of the most influential figures in American music faces a legal battle that could redefine his legacy.
It's now been 1 week since the arrest of Sean Diddy Combs.
Diddy is now at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, a place that's been described as hell on earth. Fox 5's Lisa Evers is at MDC right now on Diddy's life behind bars. Lisa, what are you finding out tonight?
Well, Natasha and Steve, for the first time in his life, Sean Diddy Combs has spent a week behind bars. He's here inside MDC, where he's been since his arrest on Monday night on federal sex trafficking and other charges, to all of which he's pleaded not guilty. There's no VIP section, there is no concierge, only conmen, killers, and kingpins. MDC is so bad, federal judges have questioned the harsh conditions for those here awaiting trial. So bad I was here 2 years ago during a cold spell, reporting on detainees with no heat, pounding on windows for help. There was even a congressional inquiry. But take the word of a former inmate I spoke with who goes by Esco.
For now, the world watches as Diddy, once a symbol of success and influence, navigates the legal challenges that threaten to overshadow his contributions to music and culture. That's it for now. Don't forget to tell us what you think in the comments below. For more updates, hit the bell icon.